So Iron Man 3 was directed by Shane Black, and it stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Guy Pearce, and Don Cheadle. Again, Marvel got me in the theaters opening day for this one, and in the matter of fact, I was actually on my honeymoon in Italy when I saw this movie. What can I say? I love all of these Marvel films, and I will always go to the movies to see them. And like I talked about in my Iron Man 2 review, it isn't that hard to get me on your side as far as an Iron Man movie goes. I just want that rock star Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. vibe. And as long as Robert Downey Jr. is at the top of his game, I will like this movie. We'll talk about it, but I feel like I got about 60% of my Downey that I wanted in this movie. You know, this is a tough one for me, and I am going to say that this might be one of the more controversial reviews that I put out just because I had never really liked this movie. It is a very challenging movie for me, and I feel like it is meant to be that way because I feel like that is how Shane Black really designed this movie. Shane Black likes to make movies that aren't atypical. And if that is what he wanted, I feel like he succeeded here, but unfortunately, just because it's not the typical movie that you see in theaters, and just because it subverts expectations, that doesn't mean that it does it in a good way. And I feel like time and time again with this movie, it subverts expectations in a way that I don't really go with. We are introduced to Tony Stark at a very pivotal point in his life. He is having panic attacks because of what he saw in the first Avengers as he went up into the sky, into the atmosphere, and saw the Chitauri ship. He now is haunted by that, and it is something that he can't get over. And again, I'm intrigued. It is somewhere for this character to go. And we'll talk about it, but they just dropped the ball on this element. And I kind of feel like, why? On top of that, we also have two villains here. In the Mandarin, played greatly by the great Ben Kingsley. He is awesome. I feel like I don't see enough of him in today's cinema. And I just love the guy whenever I see him. He is so menacing here. And he just has the right kind of vibe and just like that weird accent that he has in this film. It just totally works. And I really love him. But unfortunately, the more that they reveal about this character, the more they want to subvert my expectations, and the more I am kind of disappointed with the way that things go. I don't really spoil things in any of my reviews, but I would just say that if you are looking to take this character seriously, you will be sorely, sorely disappointed. It's not fulfilling when you have to sit back and critique it. And that is something that I really brush up against with this film. On top of that, you also have the lame character of Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce. And at one point in time, Guy Pearce was an actor, in the early 2000s that I was really looking forward to when it came to his projects. And I feel like in the later half of the 2000s and specifically 2010 on, I feel like this guy has really dropped the ball as far as acting goes. And man, he is just the stereotypical slimy kind of guy in this movie that I just really I can't go with. This movie wants to follow the very popular Extremis storyline that was in the comics for Iron Man, but it just deviates from it in ways that are kind of baffling to me. You have this mystery of these characters that explode. Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau, his character here is hurt by that. And you want that to be real personal for Tony, and it is supposed to be. But then there is this long side tangent that feels very, very much like our director here, where he goes to this small, isolated town where it is always snowing, and he meets this kid that is supposed to eventually kind of help him get over his neuroses and all of that. You know, the whole mystery is solved there also. Like, look. That whole part of this movie is such a side tangent that I feel like it really takes away from this movie, and it is not, again, what I wanted to focus on. And that just hurts it for me. I do like the action here. I get a little sick and tired of the fact that now Tony doesn't even have to be in his suit to control his suit. He can just, like, sit back and play Iron Man like a video game. But they do some cool things with that here. As a matter of fact, all of the action scenes are pretty creative, and they play here. I feel like the action here is really the best part of this movie because they think outside the box. I like it when Tony has to not rely on his suit so much, and he can just kind of think outside the box like this movie likes to, and really kind of riff, and I like that. But, again, all of it does not gel in a cohesive manner, and I don't like the conclusions here. I feel like this is a very clunky movie with good parts. I wouldn't even say that Robert Downey Jr. is bad here. I would just say that he's tempered down. I just feel like this movie just wants to pull you in a certain direction that you want to go in, and then constantly it's just this, ha, fooled you, and it just leads you to this point where it is not pleasing at all. And that's not good. That's not what I want to see. And for that, I am going to give Iron Man 3 a reluctant 5 out of 10. This is a very kind of well-made movie, like stylistically, and the action is great, but this storytelling and the events that happen here leave me cold. So coming up next on the channel, I have to review Thor: The Dark World, and that will be it for my Marvel movie reviews leading up to all of the Marvel films that will be coming out on August 13th. So that will be Avengers Endgame, all 3 Iron Man films, and the original 2 Thor films. That is a lot of videos I will be covering for you guys, but I will do it for you. So if you are excited about that, comment down below. Let me know which one you are most excited to check out. I thank all of you for watching. You guys are awesome. I don't even say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.